senior and was looking for a quiet place to do some work. He came in, he sat down, and he started to work. And then I noticed he stopped. I can usually project in my classroom. And then he stopped. And after a few moments, Matt turned to me and said, "You know, before April break, I just wanted this to be over. Now, I don't want it to end." Each graduating class is distinct, and when Father Hanwell asked me to say a few words about this particular class, I wanted to make sure I captured their spirit. I wondered what they were like as freshmen. I hadn't had an opportunity to work with them then. Matt was remembering as he looked back at that incoming frosh. Did the class of 2011 give us any hints back in 2007 as to what would be their prep legacy? This year, having taught 3 sections of senior math, I have definitely formed my impression about what makes them special. But I wondered about their journey. I decided to go to the source. I had the boys reminisce via a questionnaire, a perfect afternoon activity in a senior math class. I told them I would be sharing some of their responses with you tonight, and they took the group approach, of course. They never do anything alone. But most of them finally did write an individual response. There was lots of chatter and laughter, and of course the debates. They had to argue who had it right. I wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't sure I would find out what I wanted to know. But when I finished reading their responses, I felt that they had shared some special memories, what they valued, and I knew that I had a much better perspective on their journey. So here's what they wrote. First question: what were your biggest adjustments that you had to make as a freshman? Very few mentioned no girls in the dressing room. Many, the commute, the 2-hour commute, the ride in from the ridge, taking the train with sketchy people. A few, learning to tie a tie. The size of the school, much more walking than I was used to. But by and large, there were 3 things that came through. First, as one student put it, dealing with the religious nature of the school. I came from public school. I didn't expect religion to be such a big part of it. I wasn't ready for the religion thing. Second, the amount of work that was expected to be done on a daily basis, balancing school and sports, accepting responsibility, real classes. One said, "I never studied too much, so the realization that I finally had to really hit me." Having to visit teachers for extra help, having teachers I like. Finally, said by many in many different ways, I didn't know anybody. Finding new friends, meeting new kids for the first time since kindergarten. Again and again, I read, I didn't know anybody. One said, I made sure to make the freshman soccer team, so I had a group of kids to sit with at lunch. What did I learn? Well, they may have come to prep not fully knowing what it meant to be a prep student. As we, the faculty and administration, and perhaps you, the parents, know, but they set about trying to figure out how to become a part of it. Clearly, they recognized the challenges. How do I become a part of a new community, make friends? How do I experience or deal, or as they put it, deal with all that prep has to offer, whether it's academic, spiritual, or social? Next question. I wanted to find out what they enjoyed about their time at prep. So I asked, what is a favorite prep memory? I wanted to be sure I heard about the journey. So I excluded the senior here. They wrote, biology, dissecting worms with Brian Clark. It was really gross, but really fun. Sophomore year, when I got to teach the Western Civ class for a day. Junior year, and this was a favorite, mentioned by many people in many different ways. Zabs told us a 2-class period story of his summer in Europe. And in big letters, it was epic. All the stories Mr. Sather told us, especially the story about having surgery on his arm, which made Brian pass out. I don't know if it's the same Brian. One row, stories, just all the stories. Completely random and unrelated stories that teachers would tell about their childhood, college days, and post-college days. On a different note, several mentioned urban plunge. Never learned so much about life opened my eyes to poverty. And then they wrote about their senior year memories. Breaking the losing streak for football at home, Halloween, double snow days. One wrote, the 3-week period in February and March, where both the prep basketball and hockey teams made it to the championship games and the playoffs. Every game on the journey was better than the last. Powwow at the sun, virtually all the school was there. Many mentioned Kairos, an unbelievable growth experience for me, not to be missed. Their choices of what to share with me speak to what they value and appreciate. Their teachers, their sense of pride in their community, the friendships they've built, and what has challenged them to grow. And finally, I asked, what do you hope to remember the class of 2011 for? What is your legacy? And they wrote, creating a sincere, close community and brotherhood that survives in good times and bad. Our sense of community over the passing of Ryan Brennan and Mrs. Duffy. Hardworking good guys that are fun to be around and teach. Our ability to adapt to the challenges we faced. Getting Halloween back in a good way. Revamping the Bomb Squad. Being well-intended and trustworthy. Their legacy is exactly what they wrote. They have taught the underclassmen by example how to keep the fun and tradition in Halloween and the Bomb Squad, and that a willingness to truly participate in what prep has to offer, whether it is sports, community service, academics, or experiences like Kairos, all lead to the formation of a community that will live beyond the 4 years that they have shared together. It will bond them together and provide support, both in good times and in bad. Thank you so much for sharing them with us. We appreciate the sacrifices that you have made so that they could attend prep. And I have truly enjoyed working with them. They keep asking me if I will miss them, and the answer is obviously yes.